I never thought a promise made nearly 2 decades ago would lead to this moment, sitting in my office, drowning in regret, and questioning everything. What was supposed to be a heartfelt gift for my daughter's 18th birthday is now gone, tossed away like it meant nothing. And the person responsible? The woman I vowed to love and trust. Eleanor, my daughter, is turning 18 in 2 weeks. It's a milestone, a moment I've been anticipating since the day she was born. A long time ago, my late wife, Chloe, and I made a promise to document every part of her pregnancy, our small joys, our little moments of laughter, all captured on a set of tapes. We wanted our daughter to have something special, something she could look back on when she was old enough to truly appreciate it. I can still remember the way Chloe laughed as she pressed her hands to her growing belly, speaking to the camera as if she were speaking to our unborn child. We were young, excited, and full of dreams. I had no idea then how quickly it would all be taken away. Chloe died when Eleanor was just 2 years old. A drunk driver, a rainy night, a phone call that shattered my world. I don't even remember how I got through the funeral. Everything was a blur. I was left alone to raise our little girl, and for years, my life revolved around just that, being a father. My friends told me to move on, to go out, to start dating again, but I couldn't. Every time I tried, it felt like I was betraying her memory. Then, years later, I met Wendy. I wasn't looking for love when she walked into my life, but somehow, we found each other. It was my sister's birthday party, and Wendy was there, laughing, sharing stories, carrying the weight of her own past. She had 2 kids of her own and had just gone through a divorce. Maybe that's why we connected so easily, 2 people trying to piece themselves back together. Over time, we grew close. She was patient, understanding, and good with Eleanor. It felt right. 2 years after we met, we got married. I never imagined myself moving forward again, but I told myself Chloe would have wanted me to be happy. I told myself it was okay to love again. But something was always there, lingering beneath the surface. Wendy never said it outright, but I could feel it. Her discomfort when I talked about Chloe, the way her expression would shift when I shared stories with Eleanor. I never compared them, never made Wendy feel like she was in Chloe's shadow, but still, she struggled with it. Once, she told me, I can never be her. I held her, reassured her, told her that she didn't have to be. But I think, deep down, she never believed me. Still, I never imagined she would do something like this. I had been waiting for this moment for years, the day I could sit down with my daughter and show her the tapes, let her see and hear her mother, let her feel the love that had been left behind for her. Eleanor doesn't remember her mother's voice, her touch, the way she smiled when she looked at her. Those tapes were supposed to give her that, even just a small piece of what was taken away. And now they're gone. Not lost. Not misplaced. Thrown away. By my wife. The woman I trusted, the woman I built a life with, took something irreplaceable and discarded it like it was nothing. And now, I don't know how to look at her the same way. I don't know if I ever can. I sat there, staring at my computer screen, fingers frozen over the keyboard. I had been searching for hours, digging through every old folder, every forgotten file, hoping, praying that I had saved something. Anything. A single video. A voice recording. A photo I might have overlooked. But the more I searched, the more hopeless it became. The tapes were gone. I kept replaying Wendy's words in my head. You need to move on with your life. I threw them away as a head start. A head start. Like I had been stuck in place all these years, unable to move forward, when in reality, I had built a whole new life. I had remarried. I had a home, a blended family. I had learned how to smile again. But that didn't mean I had erased Chloe. It didn't mean I had forgotten her. How could I? How could I ever? The weight of the loss hit me all over again, fresh and raw, like reopening a wound that had never fully healed. I pressed my hands to my face, my breath shaky. It wasn't just my loss this time. It was Eleanor's too. I thought about how she would react when I told her. Would she be angry? Devastated? Would she cry? Would she look at me with those wide, desperate eyes and ask why? I wasn't sure I had an answer. My phone buzzed again, another text from Wendy. I'm so sorry. Please talk to me. I ignored it. I had ignored every one of her messages since yesterday. I just couldn't face her right now. Every time I closed my eyes, I pictured her standing in my closet, holding that box, walking to the trash, discarding it like it was an old, meaningless thing. I imagined her watching the garbage truck drive away, knowing there was no undoing what she had done. Did she regret it? Of course, she did. But regret didn't bring those tapes back. A knock sounded at my office door, soft and hesitant. "Dad?" I straightened up instantly, wiping at my eyes before Eleanor could see. "Yeah, sweetheart." She peeked in, her expression uncertain. "You okay?" I forced a smile, though it felt hollow. "Yeah, just caught up in some work." She didn't believe me. I could tell. She stepped inside, her arms crossed, shifting on her feet. "I heard you and Winnie arguing last night," she admitted quietly. "Is everything okay?" I swallowed hard. "It's complicated." Her brow furrowed in concern, and for a moment, I thought about telling her everything, just laying it all out right there. But how could I? How could I look my daughter in the eye and tell her that the one thing I had promised her was gone? That someone I loved, someone we loved, had destroyed it? So I lied. "Just a disagreement," I said. "Nothing for you to worry about." She didn't look convinced, but she didn't push, either. Instead, she sighed and gave me a small, sad smile. "Okay. Well, if you need to talk, I'm here." My heart ached. She had no idea that I was supposed to be the one comforting her, not the other way around. As soon as she left, I exhaled sharply, rubbing my temples. I needed to figure out what to do. I needed to tell her before her birthday came. But how do you break someone's heart when you've spent your whole life trying to protect it? I barely slept that night. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw the tapes, saw them sitting in that old, worn-out box in my closet, exactly where they had been for years. Safe, untouched, waiting. And then I saw them gone. I kept replaying it over and over in my head. Wendy, standing over the trash can, lifting the lid, tossing them in like they were nothing but clutter. And no matter how much I tried to push the thought away, it clung to me, wrapping around my chest like a vice. At some point, exhaustion finally won, and I must have drifted off because when I woke up, the sun was already peeking through the blinds. My phone was buzzing on the nightstand. "Wendy." Again. I stared at the screen as the vibration hummed in my hand, my thumb hovering over the answer button. But I couldn't bring myself to press it. Not yet. I rolled out of bed, rubbing the sleep from my eyes. My body felt heavy, sluggish, like my grief had settled into my bones. It was Saturday, which meant Eleanor was home, probably still asleep. I had to tell her soon. I knew that. But how? How did I sit her down and tell her that the only real piece of her mother I had left was gone forever? The thought made my chest tighten. I walked downstairs, and there she was, curled up on the couch in her pajama pants and an oversized hoodie, flipping through channels. She looked up when she saw me, giving me a small, sleepy smile. "Morning, Dad." I swallowed the lump in my throat and forced a smile back. "Morning, sweetheart." I hesitated, my hands balling into fists at my sides. Just say it. Just tell her. But before I could, she spoke again. "Wendy's been calling me." My stomach dropped. "Oh." She nodded. "Yeah, she wants me to tell you to call her back. She sounds really upset." I exhaled slowly, running a hand through my hair. "Yeah, I know." Eleanor sat up a little straighter, tilting her head. "Dad, what's going on?" "I mean, really." I hesitated. "This is it. This is your chance." But the words wouldn't come. Not yet. Instead, I sighed and sat down beside her. It's about your birthday," I admitted. "I was planning something special. Something your mom and I had talked about before you were born." Her eyes lit up, her lips parting slightly in anticipation. "Yeah." I forced another tight smile. "Yeah." She waited, but when I didn't say more, her smile faded. "Is that why you and Wendy were fighting?" I hesitated before nodding. "Yeah." Eleanor chewed on her lip, thoughtful. Did she not like the idea, or something? I let out a hollow chuckle, shaking my head. "Something like that." She frowned. "I don't get it. Why would she?" I reached out and squeezed her hand. "I'll explain everything soon, I promise." She studied me for a long moment, searching my face for answers. Then she nodded, though I could tell she was still confused. "Okay," she murmured. "I trust you." My heart clenched. She trusted me, and I had to break that trust by telling her that I had failed to keep my promise. I wasn't ready, but ready or not, I knew I couldn't keep it from her much longer. I spent the rest of the day in a haze, moving through the house like a ghost, barely speaking, barely thinking about anything except how I was going to tell Eleanor the truth. Every time I looked at her, I saw the little girl who used to curl up in my lap and ask me questions about her mom. I saw the way her face would fall whenever she realized she couldn't remember Chloe's voice, the way she'd blink back tears and whisper, "I wish I knew what she sounded like." That was why the tapes mattered so much. And now, because of Wendy, they were gone. By late afternoon, my phone buzzed again. Another call from Wendy. I ignored it, just like I had all the others. But then, a few seconds later, a text came through. Please, just talk to me. Let me explain. Explain? What was there to explain? She had known exactly what she was doing when she threw the tapes away. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't a misunderstanding. She had made a choice, and I wasn't sure I could ever forgive her for it. But as much as I wanted to shut her out forever, I knew I couldn't. I had to face her eventually. So later that evening, after making sure Eleanor was in her room, I finally called her back. She picked up immediately. Oh my God, you finally answered. I didn't say anything. I just waited. She sighed shakily. I know you hate me right now, and you have every right to, but please, just listen to me. I clenched my jaw. Why, Wendy? My voice was low, but firm. Why would you do this? You knew how much those tapes meant to me. To Eleanor. She sniffled. I don't know. I wasn't thinking. I was jealous, okay? I know that sounds stupid, but I was. I was jealous of a woman who isn't even here anymore, and I hated that no matter what I did, I would never be her. I squeezed my eyes shut, my free hand curling into a fist. Wendy, I never asked you to be Chloe. I know, she whispered. And that makes it worse. You never made me feel like I had to compete with her. It was all in my head. And that night, when I saw those tapes, all I could think about was how you still hold on to her. How you still love her. I let out a shaky breath. Of course, I still love her. She was my wife. She was the mother of my child. I know, she repeated, voice thick with tears. But in that moment, all I felt was my own insecurity. And instead of dealing with it like an adult, I lashed out. I did something horrible, something I can never take back, and I am so sorry. Silence stretched between us. Finally, I asked the only question that mattered. Where did you throw them away? She hesitated. The outside trash. I felt a sliver of hope. Which day? 2 days ago. The hope vanished. The garbage truck had already come. My throat tightened. So that's it. They're gone. She let out a choked sob. I'm sorry. Sorry. But sorry didn't bring back what she had taken from me. From Eleanor. I exhaled sharply, rubbing my temples. I need time, Wendy. Of course, she whispered. Take all the time you need. But no amount of time would ever undo what had been done. The weight of it all settled in my chest as I ended the call. The tapes were gone. Irretrievable. No amount of apologies, no amount of regret could change that. I sat there in silence, staring at the floor, feeling a numbness creep in. The last tangible memories of Chloe, the laughter, the whispers to our unborn daughter, the soft moments we had promised to share with Eleanor, were lost forever. And I had to be the one to tell her. I took a deep breath, steadying myself. It had to be tonight. I knocked gently on her door before stepping inside. She was sitting cross-legged on her bed, a book in her lap. She looked up, her face lighting up for just a second before she caught the serious expression on mine. What's wrong? I swallowed hard, sitting down beside her. My heart pounded as I searched for the right words. But how do you tell your daughter that the one gift she had waited for her whole life no longer existed? Sweetheart, my voice was already thick. I cleared my throat and tried again. There's something I need to tell you. Her brows furrowed. What is it? I hesitated for a moment before finally saying it. The tapes. The ones your mom and I made for you. They're gone. Her face twisted in confusion. Gone? What do you mean gone? I exhaled shakily. They were thrown away. She stared at me, her lips slightly parted, as if trying to process what I had just said. Thrown away? By who? I hesitated. I didn't want to hurt her, but she deserved the truth. I sighed. Wendy. At first, she just blinked, like she hadn't heard me right. Then, slowly, her expression shifted, shock, disbelief, and then a pain so deep that it made my stomach turn. She did what? Her voice was barely above a whisper. I reached for her hand, but she pulled away. Eleanor. No, she shook her head, her breath coming quicker, her eyes already welling up with tears. Why? Why would she do that? She thought I needed to move on, I admitted, the words tasting bitter in my mouth. Her lips trembled as she let out a small, broken laugh. Move on? From what? My mom? From her. Her voice cracked, and when she looked at me, there was something there I hadn't seen before. A kind of devastation I couldn't fix. I wanted to say something to take her pain away, but what could I possibly say? She stood up abruptly, wrapping her arms around herself. So that's it? That's all I'll ever have of her? Just stories? Just things people tell me. I could see her crumbling in front of me, and it shattered me. I'm so sorry, sweetheart, I choked out. Her hands clenched into fists. I hate her. Her words were sharp, venomous, and I knew she meant them. She was supposed to be my family, she continued, her voice shaking. She knew how much I wanted this, how much I wanted to see my mom. And she just took it away. I had no answer for her. She turned away, rubbing at her face furiously. I don't want to see her. I don't want to talk to her. I nodded, even though she wasn't looking at me. You don't have to. For a long time, we sat in silence. Just two people mourning the same loss all over again. But one thing was clear, nothing would ever be the same again. This situation is devastating, and I need to know, what would you do? If someone you trusted destroyed something so irreplaceable, could you ever forgive them? How would you face your daughter after breaking a promise you never thought could be broken? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you stand with me in this heartbreak, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support will let me know I'm not alone in this, that my pain is understood. Every like, every comment, every subscription is a sign that you're here with me through this.